I goofed, guys. I goofed. Um, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I took, honestly, a really good setup, but it was just the wrong time. And I think that goes something um to say about my strategy as a whole. It's a really good example, right? And I think today was a really good reminder too. I am mostly a discretionary trader. I am not a fully mechanical trader, but today I traded like I was fully mechanical, and I don't know why. First execution comes in at about 8:01 p.m., so like literally right after open when I wanted to trade. I thought this was a really good setup, and the reason why was because we're on value area lows. We're also on prior day point of control too, right? So it makes it a really good point to buy, and I also saw this two bar reversal too. So I really like that. However, the first thing I always ask myself whenever I look at the market for the first time, which is usually around like 750, is are we bullish or are we bearish? Looking at this, we are bearish, right? This was the open right here. Let me delete this so you guys can see. But this was the open. The wick of the open was at 4,252.8. So this is gold, right? We are currently around that area and below it right here. So why am I taking a trade trying to head to the upside? It's dumb. I have to wait for it to actually form a higher low first and then enter if I want to enter off these value areas. But I entered here at 8:01, so let's fast forward a little bit. I thought that was a good candle, I'm not gonna lie. Right? So I thought it was fine. But I really need to wait for it to establish itself. It did not. We continued lower. I ended up getting stopped out. It was like one of the quickest trades I've taken in a while. Like, I went to the kitchen 15 minutes later. I told my girlfriend, I'm like, babe, I already lost. Which was fine, right? Stop loss was actually all the way down here at 420. I think it was 4228. It was 422, or no, sorry, it's 4232.8. So I would have been stopped out anyway, but I stopped it early just because I'm like, I don't want to take the full loss. I want to try to limit the losses. And I kind of knew it. I had a feeling too when I entered the trade. I'm like, I probably should have waited for something like this or this, right? And I think if I had been a little bit more patient, I probably would have waited for this just to see what happens. And that would have been my entry. In fact, that's what I was saying last night too when I was looking at it, that 841 actually would have been my entry. And that was before I knew this it had this whole movement. I had no idea at the time. And the reason being was because again, if you take a look right here, I mean that's perfect. That's what you want to see, right? First, getting through value area lows. I love to see that. And I know that. I know that. I just didn't want to act on it, and we'll talk about why. So getting through value area high or value area lows off high volume, coming back, pulling back, and then continuing here. So I would have bought in maybe 4247.8. Maybe if I was late, it would have been here on that closing candle, I mean, right? And then boom, you end up getting your move. Target is value area highs, right, of the previous day and of the current session, which are intertwining here, right? You do get this pullback, so that would have been a little bit scary, but again, stop loss would be set here as well. Maybe a break even point if we wanted to at prior day point of control, but I think I would have just held it. And then we definitely would have taken some off here at value area high, but then obviously we'd be aiming for high of day or prior day value area high, which we do end up getting on that wick right there, right? I think it does continue a little bit higher, right? So even if you didn't take it right there, it would have continued. So that was my trade, and I missed it. And that's my fault. Why is that my fault? If I'm being completely honest, I didn't stay locked in. I did not stay locked in whatsoever. Instead, I was so eager to take a trade this week. I just wanted to get past that $2,000 buffer, and it kind of overtook me. And I was so excited today. I just really wanted to get in there, continue on my goal, right? Um, and that's wrong. Trading should not be exciting. Trading shouldn't be fun. It shouldn't be something that you're looking forward to doing, right? And I haven't felt like that in a while. But last night I did, and part of the reason why, and I think that's the reason why this uh, episode today, I guess if you want to call it episode, but really a journal entry, is called Stay Locked In, is because I've been watching this guy. His name is Stay Locked In Poker. And honestly, he has a really good video series. I'll put a link in the description for anybody who wants to watch. But basically, he dropped out of college, was going to Indiana University for business school, dropped out of college to play poker. And I've saved this in my watch later for like 3 months. In fact, let me see if I can show you guys too. But I saved this in my watch later for like 3 months. Oh, I thought it just came up. What is that? Right here. I dropped out of college to play poker. This guy is absolutely hilarious. But I've been watching that series, and um, I I really was like motivated by him, right? But if you look at it, trading and poker, they're very similar, especially with mentality, right? They're both skill based, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can kind of make poker more fun and exciting, and and of course you can make trading that way too, right? But I guess you can say for both of them, but definitely for trading because I don't know anything about poker. You can't make it that way if you want to have long-term success. You have to be in the zone. You have to be locked in all the time. You have to be doing what you need to do every single day to be disciplined. I think that's the thing that I lost last night when I took this trade was everything, if we look at the technicals, everything's set up fine, right? It could have been a very mechanical trade that just lost, and I would have been okay with it. But I'm not a mechanical trader. So I knew coming into this that I needed to see more, but yet I still took the trade. Every single loss that I've had this month was when I didn't follow my rules. This one was taking more than one trade a day, and then this one was not aligning with the trend of the market, which was bullish. Now, gold is something where recently we've just been buying the dip, right? Waiting for it to go to value area lows, which was what I took, right? But making sure that you're actually trending in a bullish direction before taking the trade. And this one just happened to work, right? But I just didn't execute it well. So that's my fault. I've done such a good job of taking really good trades, and last night I did not. So I just need to be more disciplined. Another thing that I want to say too is that even though you lose, it doesn't mean that there's nothing that you can improve on, right? And it's the same thing when you win too. Even when I win, there's still times where I'm like, oh, I could have done better in this area, or I could have traded better here. But even when you lose, there are times where, okay, there's nothing you could have done, right? Volume just spiked out of nowhere, news came out, you couldn't see it coming, whatever. But I would say, I'd venture to say that for a lot of us, when we lose, it's our fault. I don't think I've taken a trade so far where I've lost and it wasn't my fault for a while. For a while. I think every single trade, maybe, I can't remember anymore. I have to go back through my journal. But every single trade that I've lost in the past 2 months, since beginning of September, has partially or fully been my fault, right? One of the things that I've learned in life is that um, it may not be your fault, but you are responsible for however you handle whatever situation you're in, right? A lot of times people like to say, "Oh, it's not my fault. It's not my fault," right? They don't want to be blamed, but it doesn't matter if you're at fault or not, or if it's your fault. It's your job to take accountability and responsibility for whatever situation you put yourself in or whatever is happening to you to be able to get yourself out of that, right? So last night, again, taking full accountability and responsibility. I shouldn't have taken that trade. I took the trade. It lost. If I had waited 30 minutes for this, right? Not even 30 minutes. If I think it was no, if I had waited 30 to 40 minutes, yeah. If I had taken that, I would have been scared here for sure. I'm like, oh, you're rejecting VWAP. I knew I should have taken it, blah blah blah. But it would have been better. It would have been better for us to take. Now, another thing I was looking at too was taking a short, right? Because again, we were bearish. Now that kind of like switched trends. But if I had taken a short here, right? We'll actually select the bar a little bit because actually I can't find that. Either way, This was value area high. I think it shifted. Usually it allows me to select the bar. I don't know why, but we'll just go replay, continue, so that way it kind of brings us back. There should have been a select bar button. But either way, this was priority value area high. If I had taken something off here, I want to know how it would have gone. So here, it doesn't seem like it would have worked out well, right? Again, because that trend changed, but I guess we would have been in the trade for like hours on end. Oh, so actually it would have worked out. Now I probably would have fallen asleep, but it definitely would have worked out. And that's what I was originally looking for, right? And I think also too um part of my trading being a rookie, being new, right? I've only been trading for 11 months. It's about to be a full year soon, and I'm going to make a video on that. Um, but part of that is kind of like having the confidence that, okay, what I'm doing is actually working. I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that I am now a profitable trader. Now, that doesn't mean that the results have shown, right? It doesn't mean that at all. But I feel like something has clicked in the last like 3 weeks or so where I'm like, okay, like I know what I'm doing, but because I'm still new, because I haven't been trading for that long, it's like I need to show that like I need to have that consistent confidence in myself that I'm like, bro, like you actually know what you're doing. Like you actually know how to trade. You know what to look for. You know exactly where to be, what to do, blah 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 blah, right? And sometimes when I take a loss, such as last night, but even last night doesn't even really count, but when I take a loss, I'm like, oh shoot, does my stuff still work? Hello? It's like you're that insecure spouse where you're like always needing to ask, hey, do you still love me? It's like that's literally what it feels like. Um, but I need to be more confident. I need to be more confident. I've been doing well, I've been trading well. Like I need to be more disciplined and we're going to be fine. That's something that I need to tell myself, and that's what I'm telling myself right now. The last thing I want to say too is again, staying locked in. You got to stay locked in, but you can't get complacent. And I think that's how I came into the market last night as well. I was complacent. I was just like, it's kind of like when Sasuke started getting good in Naruto when he fought Naruto on top of that tower or building, and Sakura is trying to stop them. And Kakashi jumps in and he throws them away when they both have. I know I'm talking a lot of anime. If you guys don't understand anime, I'm sorry. But it's when Sasuke had his Chidori and Naruto had his Rasengan, right? And they get thrown. And it's this like water tank that they're like thrown separately. So Sasuke, you can see his hit, I think hit the wall or something. And it's like a big explosion. And Naruto's hit the water tank and all you see is like a little like drizzle coming out of the water. So Sasuke is like, "Oh, I would have won that, right?" So Sasuke is leaving, like he's thinking like he's like top dog. Again, he got complacent. He looks at the back of the water tank and it's fully exploded, right? It wasn't visible to Naruto's view, but when Sasuke was leaving, he saw that and he's like, "Oh shoot, I would have lost." Right? And obviously that kind of led to him trying to get more power and going about it the wrong way. But basically what I'm trying to say is you can't get complacent. And that's something that I did too. I wasn't disciplined enough to be like, everything fits but this one thing. And because that one thing does not fit, I'm not taking a trade. That would have saved me money last night. And that's something that I didn't do. Again, probably influenced by stay locked in poker. But I need to do a better job of that as well. So I don't need the money. I don't need the money. I'll probably make that its own video topic, but I can take a payout right now, cool, but I don't need the money. I kind of do need the money, but I don't need the money, if that makes sense. So, anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys are doing well. I know that today there's been some issues with AWS, so I don't even know if Topstep was working during New York session or London session. I just traded Asia, so I have no idea, but hopefully it's fine tonight when I trade. Hopefully it's fine for you guys tomorrow when you guys trade as well. But yeah, let me know how you guys are doing too. But hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys are trading well. And yeah, keep trading stoically.